So this clip that I posted on Reddit kind of got some attention, and there were many who were asking on how to perform this technique, this Footstool technique that you are seeing on screen right now. And I wanted to make a video to explain in depth how to do the Footstool, what it is, and everything about the Footstool. So let's get into it. What is a Footstool? A Footstool is a technique where you are literally using the enemy's hitbox as a footstool so you can propel your character higher, allowing them to do a plunge attack when they are not supposed to be able to. Now this is a particularly cool technique because it can be used by many characters and not just Zhongli. However, the characters who mainly benefit from this are taller characters, or quote-unquote the adult models, and not so much the teenager or the child model. And I'm not certain why that is, but I'm going to assume that the child and the teenager hitboxes of the characters are still not pushed up far enough to do a plunge attack even when rubbing up against the enemy. And we'll talk more about that in just a few moments. So why even do a footstool? Well, for some characters where you can cancel attacks and they still stay on the screen, like Zhongli's spear kick, doing a plunge attack is a great way to supplement and increase your DPS. Not to mention, it looks freaking sick when you do it, and who doesn't like new skills and techniques to master? And it seemed the tech just got way cooler because you can footstool off of dead enemies. Okay, so this is how footstool works. The game uses two metrics to calculate when you can do a plunge attack, and that is the ground and your maximum jump height, or the maximum jump height of your character. If your character's jump height exceeds that limit, then they can do a plunge attack if you press the attack button. For this video, we are going to use a yellow circle to represent the player character on the left, and a red circle to show the enemy character on the right. Now, you'll see and the animation play out where the yellow character is jumping in place, and they are going to reach but not surpass the maximum jump height. Interestingly enough, if you try to land on an enemy's head, you will never be able to stand on it because invisible behind the scenes, the hitbox of the enemy, and probably your character too, if you try to land on a friend's head, it won't work. It's circular. They are both circular. So you'll just slide off. However, we can use that same sliding effect or the same collision effect to perform a footstool. So when we are dash jumping onto an enemy of a similar or slightly lower or slightly higher height, we are using the invisible hitbox to push our character up above the maximum jump height limit. And that is what allows us to press the attack button at a certain timing to get that plunge attack. Now, from testing, I believe that the timing is a bit different depending on the hitbox of the enemy. However inconsistent, I will include these enemies in my showcase for where you can footstool to increase your DPS. A lot of enemies can be footstooled, and I'm hoping that this becomes a mechanic that is further explored in the future. Also, a quick mention, if you are fighting these inconsistent enemies or enemies that are not listed here, you can use your terrain to your advantage, whether it's jumping onto a box or using a slope to your advantage to trigger this plunge attack. It will all work. It just wouldn't be a footstool though, because we are not using the enemy to propel ourselves higher. I have tested Zhongli against every single enemy in the game to see if I can footstool them, and these are the ones who I could footstool. The Geo Fatui agent, very consistent and easy to do. The Hydro and Cryo Fatui agents are also very easy to footstool. And the Pyro Fatui agent, which are also very easy to footstool. I would also put the Pyro and Cryo Whopper Flowers on the list of easy characters to footstool. They could become a great training partner when you practice this because they take reduced physical damage until they are stunned, allowing you to wail on them for quite a while. The Geo Vishap Hashling also are pretty easy to footstool because they have a round back. And here comes my personal favorite to practice against, the Abyss Mages. They will pay for all the damage they've done to us. And this is how. We're gonna footstool them all the time. Shield it, unshield it, doesn't matter. You can do it very, very easily to them. And please do. Please. Murder them. The treasure hoarders, both the thick ones and the normal skinny ones, you can footstool them all. And you can also footstool the Assassin Mages, though they can be a bit annoying when they start teleporting around. So if you have a way to CC them or something like that, that would help you to footstool them. It will work against shielded and unshielded Assassin Mages. And now we move on to the inconsistent enemies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Especially the healer churls. I'm not sure why, but I have a feeling it's because their hitboxes morph and change all the time due to how sporadic they move. Slimes are another one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on how they're shaped at the current moment in time. So if you get lucky and petrify them when they're squished together, you can spam it. Otherwise, it's very inconsistent. I would just recommend jump canceling or not even trying to footstool. The Mythic churls, aka the buff healer churls that are not bosses, are also kind of inconsistent, but they are more consistent than the other two that I have mentioned. I've been able to do it like 2/3 of the time, so yeah. And lastly, the hypostasis. I have a running theory that if you dash jump the corners, you'll be able to do the footstool. If you dash jump the sides, you won't be able to, at least from what I've tested so far. So yeah, a little bit inconsistent, needs more testing. If the enemies were not listed previously, then assume that you cannot footstool them, or at least when I tried to footstool these enemies, I was unable to footstool. Such as the Ruin Hunter, the Ruin Guards, the Electro Fatui, the Animal Fatui, and the Regisvine. Or the enemy was not in the game when I made this video. I'm a big fan of footstalling, and I hope that the community explores footstalling even further. If this video was helpful to you, consider dropping a like and subscribing to this channel because we are going to be producing more content like this very soon. And we are currently working on an epic Teyvat Battle of Fantasy series. It's a cinematic battle series between playable characters. It's very fun, very awesome, and we're starting to develop a storyline. I'm really excited for what comes next. I'm going to throw the latest episode of that series somewhere on the screen right now. Please check it out if you have time. I think you'll really enjoy it. And as always, if you have any feedback whatsoever or questions, please leave it in the comments for this video, that video, any video. I try to read and respond to every single comment. With all of that said, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!